How's it going, everyone? I'm making a video to showcase RenoJackson's Wild Tempo Rogue. This is his exact deck list, except I took out the Lights Champion he had to silence demons, and I added a second Ironbeak Owl, just because I have not been facing as many Warlocks. The deck has been working out pretty well for me. I've only lost once since I hit rank 5, and that was because the doorbell rang and I had to go answer it, and I had to switch Hearthstone to my phone, and then I made a bunch of misplays, and yeah, that's what happens. But it's been performing pretty well for me. I don't think I've had any legit losses since I hit rank 5. So, let's get our first loss, shall we? Just kidding, I hope not. But we'll find out. The game plan of this deck is kind of just go face as hard as you can and close the game out early, but there are also a lot of interesting decision-making aspects you wouldn't think there would be in a deck like this. Hopefully we'll get to illustrate some of them. Also, Lotheb is the MVP of this deck. And pretty much the MVP of Wild. I think that's my favorite card of all time. Okay, we're against a priest.
The light shall bring victory.
So we do want to keep the Hench Clan Thug because our game plan is going to be Firefly on 1, Weapon up on 2, Hench Clan and Thug on 3, and hit face with it. That way it'll be a 4-4. I do want to put these two back for now. Maybe I want to keep Lotheb. It's not actually a bad idea. Luro's not bad either, but I've never kept Lotheb in my opening hand before. Nah, let's not start now. Tough decision. Nah. It'll come back to me in my time of need. Okay, he full mulligan. So if we do draw a pirate that isn't patches, we play the pirate here to pull the patches out. For now, we just do this. Now, another thing is, I'm going to weapon up this turn. But the question of whether I should swing or not depends on what he has on the board and what my next couple turns are going to be. So my turn 2 is going to be weapon up. My turn 3 is going to be Hench Clan Thug and then hit. And then if I hit this turn, I won't have a weapon chart. So what do I want to do turn 4? Do I want to be weaponing up on turn 4? Probably not, since I have the fledgling. If I didn't have the fledgling, I would probably swing here. Maybe I should swing anyway. Well, he may have a Duskbreaker too, though. Yeah, let's swing. Here's why, because I don't think I'm going to play the fledgling on 4. Well, that is the worst draw of the deck.
Here we go.
If I do want to play the fledgling, I can always just coin it. Although I'd rather not, because I want to save the coin for Wild Spine. So he definitely has, maybe not definitely, but it's very likely now that he has the, Duskbreaker. So I think I'm going to make a Van Cleef turn here.
The Brotherhood shall hold it.
That way, if he has the Duskbreaker, I can still kill it with Fan and my guy. Yeah, if he deaths, that's fine too. It's just he did full mulligan, so the chance of him having Duskbreaker are lower than they would usually be.
Hold it.
That's good. Nobody plays Holy Nova anymore, but it's still good. And this is fairly secure against Dragonfire. So, yeah, that's fine. So he's used one board clear now. So I think we're free to fledgling. Play the Firefly to dash damage in. I do want to keep one of those in my hand, so that I can activate Vile Spine if I need to. For cheap. We're probably just gonna boom this turn regardless. Probably has another board clear, honestly, which is why the only real threat I put out's the fledgling. So if your board clears here, it's gonna be just to kill the fledgling. Yeah. Okay. So, is there any reason not to boom here? I mean, we could play the Hinge Clan Thug, but that's pretty low tempo. So it's not. Actually, I haven't gotten much of my burst. Either of my deckhands, Cold Bloods, or Leroy.
Tonight, a tale of
It's possible I should have kept that's actually not bad at all. Because I do have the Vile Spine. In fact, I think I might trade in the bomb into that. Let's see what I draw. I have 8 bursts, so I would need to draw 8, so there's no one card I can draw. That sucks a little. The thing about that is, now if I Vile Spine that, and he puts up a taunt, it would be really bad. So I got 8, 9, I have 13, 14, 15. I'm 1 off lethal. I could attempt to drive one of my boombots in and hit face with it for more damage for lethal, which is what I think I'm going to do. Let's try it. No, not quite. Let's try again. Nope, that failed miserably. We can fan that thing down now, though. That's not lethal either, right? Is that lethal? 6, 13, 14, 15. No, still 1 off lethal. So we'll do this.
Here we go.
So I've got 8 burst in my hand. I mean, I got 6 burst in my hand and my weapon. He could do another light bomb and then resurrect into the Lich King. But resurrect would only be a 50-50 now because Barnes exists. If he did that, I'd probably just Vile Spine. I'd probably South Sea Vile Spine and go face and try to find a way around it. Probably game. Whatever the outcome. Yep. We got it.
Here we go.
Hold it!
Good. Alright. Gonna give it a minute. Because I don't like queuing at a Big Priest. I don't think I've lost against Big Priest with this deck yet, but I just don't like playing against him. Of course, I don't think there probably aren't that many people playing at this rank. So, if I queue within a 30-second period, it's fairly likely I'll queue into the same guy. Big Priest can be an easy matchup if they don't draw Barnes, but if they draw Barnes, especially on turn 4, then it's like a really hard matchup. Okay, Warlock.
Your soul shall be mine.
Okay.
Watch your.
This guy is just my opponent. I do want to full mulligan because I need to hit him hard and hit him fast. Because these guys, since he has the coin, he can get a turn 3 Void Lord if he gets really lucky, and I don't think there's much I can do against the turn 3 Void Lord in this deck.
None will survive.
He kept 3 cards too, so I'm probably boned here.
Feed the fish,
Honestly.
lover.
He only mulliganed 1, which means he probably has like Defile, maybe Mistress and Kobold Librarian.
Here we go.
If he doesn't Defile here, I've got a good South Sea. If he does Defile here, I just use the Defile for a 1-drop. Oh, dark. I may regret that next turn. Yeah, this is gonna be South Sea.
Here we go.
Here's the sacrificial pact into the Void Lord. Ah, second Dark Bomb. Well, at least now we know that's not Reno deck. Does he have Mortal Foil? Nope, not quite. Okay. So the question is, do we want to keep one for Vile Spine? I think the answer is probably no, not yet. Let's see what we get from Swashbuckler. It's probably gonna be useless. I guess I could use it to combo Vile Spine if I'm not already screwed.
Here we go.
Okay. If he doesn't put up a taunt, we have 5, 6, 7. We have 12. Which is, if he taps and doesn't heal, we can kill him. Or taps and doesn't put out a taunt. Here, sack pact. No. Oh! No! Oh, so close, so close, so close, so close. But we're boned. Alright. That sucks. Oh man, that sucks. Wish I had silence. I'm gonna go face here. I might even just... Jesus. I might just Leroy. Might just Leroy as hard as I can. You know what? That's actually not a bad play, because then I can...
So many options.
I mean, that's pretty much all I have, right? It's Leroy.
Here we go. Choose two.
So trading, but we're not going to need those two. Whatever he has is coming out here. If it's Mal'Ganis, yeah, that sucks, but... And that sucks. So we can cold blood that and Vile Spine it. Yeah, early Void Caller into Void Lord with double Dark Bombs.
Yes. Oh, yes. They'll serve me
Rough.
now.
And now I can't even Skulker.
Here we go.
Sucks. How do I win this game? I win it by him not pulling another Void Lord here. I think if he does, I'm probably finished. Mal'Ganis. Deal with Mal'Ganis. Can't deal with 2 Mal'Ganises. That's it. You guys are nuts.
I give up.
And that is, yeah, you can't really beat a Q block with any deck, much less this one. I think that was played correctly though. That was actually my first real loss since rank 5. Um, if I'd have had Iron Beak, I would have been able to get past it, but you kind of can't. You kind of have to rely on drawing Iron Beak instead of having it in your opening hand, because if you have it, you kind of need the tempo early. Um, you either got to play around, just play like hoping he doesn't have the Void Collar, which they always do if they're against me, of course, or hoping you draw the silence, or get Lotheb. Since Lotheb wins you so many matches in this deck. It's kind of nuts. I think I would have won that if he hadn't had both Dark Bombs. And if he had another Void Caller. Or if he had another Void Caller, rather. If he had only 2 of those 3, I think I would have won. But he had all 3.
Valera
Okay, so
versus
Mage,
Jaina.
it's...
You
like,
asked
I've only
for
played
it.
one
Watch
Mage that
your
was not Tempo
back.
Mage. So I'm going to go ahead and assume it's Tempo Mage. So we'll put these 2 back, keep the Firefly, play the Firefly on turn 1, weapon up. Hit Clan Thug on turn 2. 3, I mean. Sometimes against Paladin, you don't even want to weapon up for a couple turns. You want to just like double Firefly into like South Sea or something.
None will
But we are against
survive.
Mage. So he mulligans his whole hand, which is pretty good statistically.
Time runs out on you.
Now here's the question. I think I might actually play the South Sea deckhand here, because it pulls patches and makes him have to use his turn 2 pinging. I think I'd rather him ping on turn 2 than not ping on turn 2.
So many options.
So I'm throwing away my deckhand in hopes that he'll ping it off. This is only punished by like Apprentice into Arcane Missiles, which is possible. But then I just weapon up and kill the Apprentice.
I wonder.
So now, weapon up. I should consider coining something. Consider coining a Swashbuckler, maybe. Maybe I just coin the Captain so we can't ping off the... Maybe I just coin the Captain so we can't ping off the patches.
I
Get 2 extra
wonder.
face damage. I lose 1 face damage this turn, but I gain it later. But that'll also mean that I can't, or I won't have a good Hinchland Thug next turn. I still haven't figured out what he's playing yet.
I'll choose soon.
Alright.
Here we go.
Dual facing here because it's likely that I'll re-weapon up after this turn. Especially since I have the coin and didn't use it yet. And I'm... yeah.
Speak to me.
Should I Iron Beak that? Huh. Probably not.
So many options. Here we go.
I think he'll have something better for me to Iron Beak later. If it's a freeze mage, I need to Iron Beak the Doomsayer. It's kind of looking like freeze mage too. Or if it's freeze mage, I'll need to iron beak my own thing. Let's see what's that.
Lights down.
Here
It's called
we
a no.
go.
Hold it.
Card. If I had fan, I could have milled him. I don't think I would have taken the mill because I needed tempo, but could have. If I had milled something like Emperor, I probably would have gone for it.
What to do? What to do?
It's going cold. This is without a doubt my least favorite deck in the game to play against. Because the entire game plan is just like stall,
Here
stall,
we
stall,
go.
stall, win in one turn. Could have coined Boom, but I didn't have a good play. And here's his Blizzard turn. I didn't win wiping out my South Sea. Plus, I can also Iron Beak the Kaldara Drake to hit him again.
Hmm.
Anyway, I hate playing against Freeze Mage because it's basically like watching somebody play fucking Solitaire. Like, you just go face and then hope that, like, hope that you can fucking kill them, I guess. I don't know. It's a shitty game. It's a shitty deck. We're gonna do this. I think I'm gonna use the Cold Blood.
Lights down.
Maybe I should save that. Nah.
Ha-ha! Hold it.
Here we go.
Boom's gonna be kind of important too. Because if he blizzards the boom bots,
Hmm.
you can still kill him on his turn if he's at 1, which is neat. There's 14 cards left in his deck. I'm pretty sure the wild version of Freeze Mage plays Emperor, right?
What to do? What to do?
If he plays Blizzard, I think I can still proc him, right? Yeah, I can still proc him. Well, depends on what he hits with Blizzard. If he Blizzards... Yeah, I can still proc him if he plays Blizzard. Because I can double
Runs
silence.
out on
You
you.
like my invention?
Okay, no Blizzard. Size block. Crossbow one of my guys, maybe? Try to stay not procced.
We hunger for vengeance.
Okay. Okay, so... see if it's ice block. Nope. It is...
Here we go.
You might have like heal bots here. I don't think this runs heal bots though, does it? I mean, this version needs a turn to play Emperor too, right? So you need to Emperor and Ice Block, which you can't do this turn. Unless he glyphs into an Ice Block, then plays Emperor. That's the only way.
I wonder.
Which is surprisingly not that far-fetched anymore. If he Blizzards and Frostbolts my face, he can theoretically save himself, but then I can do
Time runs out on me.
Frostbolt my owl, pop him again.
I hope you like my invention.
Here we go.
Yep, second Ice Block. Just playing solitaire. Just playing solitaire. Okay, well, if you want to board clear me, deal with this. How many cards do you have left? 8. Basically, I put that out so he can't Blizzard me without, well, I guess he could Blizzard Frostbolt face, which he wouldn't know that I still have lethal
What
with
to
Iron
do?
Beak and with
What
Argent
to
Horse Rider,
do?
but also make it so he can't Blizzard without killing himself, unless he plays Doomsayer first. If he plays Frost Nova, Doomsayer, I've still got it. That's his second Ice Block. So, and he hasn't glyphed yet.
Reality woven. The end is coming!
Here's Blizzard. And that's game. Holy shit. Okay. There's our way back. So, that wasn't fun. Even though that's not a hard that's not that hard of a match, I still hate playing against Freak Mage, man. Like, I don't think, like, even Q Block, like, even though Q Block beats this deck significantly more than Freeze Mage, I generally play Control. And I just hate playing against Freeze Mage. I'm so glad they put Ice Block in the Hall of Fame. Okay. I haven't got to showcase Lotheb's power yet either. Maybe I'll get to do that this game. Like, if I already have a good hand, maybe I should just start keeping Lotheb, because it's just so ridiculous against so many decks. Warlock.
Valera versus Gul'dan.
Like Warlock, for instance.
Your soul shall be mine.
Okay, we're gonna keep the deck hand. We're gonna put back the Biosmite. Ooh. Now the question is, should we keep the owl? I got really screwed by not keeping the owl last time. Let's try to keep the owl and just see what happens. Undoubtedly, we're going to draw the other owl, but here we go. Draw the other owl. Yep, definitely. Oh. Okay. So, Swashbuckle turn 1, maybe.
None will survive.
He kept 2 cards, mulliganed 1. So we can Swashbuckle, or we can Firefly. Or we can South Sea. It's honestly probably South Sea. We're gonna need every point of damage we can get. if I had a pioneer, I'm pretty sure I'd coin the pioneer to weapon up.
Here we go.
Okay. Pretty good. Fan. Not pretty good. So, a swashbuckle. I think I might just cold blood here. Cold blood Reuben up, cold blood Firefly. Do 9 damage to him.
I wonder.
It's cold blood Firefly.
Here we go.
So,
From the void I come.
Here we go.
hopefully he doesn't have 1 damage. Hopefully. I mean, another way to activate that. See, I would have coined Lotheb there. Well, no, I couldn't have coined Lotheb there because then you could just ran into my 6-1. But if I hadn't had a 6-1, I would have coined Lotheb. You can defile Tar Creeper. There's a few things you can do. Okay. Okay. So it's really important to get in that early damage into the deck. So what was that? 3 and 1? That's not bad, right? I guess that's pretty good for rank 4. I mean, that's still 75%. My overall win rate is 72% because I ran into some trouble at like rank like 8 or 7 or something like that. But then I pretty much streaked up to 5. I experimented a little bit at 5 with a couple different things, and then just ground out a little bit with this deck. I've only lost twice in a row, and I've played 53 games with this deck so far. Just get a feel for it. So it's been fair. And we only just barely lost that game against the last warlock. The reason I took Owl over Light's champion is because I can silence so much more with Owl. Now I'm starting to run into a more cube lock though. Or more warlock rather. Just any kind of control warlock. Okay, this match is very specific. I need very specific things for this match. Those are 2 of them. The problem is I can't keep Skulker because if I just keep Skulker I'll be dead by turn 5. So I really need to mulligan hard for my Fireflies and my Swashbucklers. The thing is, Fan's really good in this matchup too, so I kind of want to keep the Fan. This is the matchup. This matchup is the reason Fan's in here, so I'm going to keep Fan. And hope to draw someone drops and not get screwed by RNG. Okay, good. Now, if it's Gen, I can play the Buccaneer in turn 1. If it's not Gen, or if it's Baku, I can't really. Oh, it's nothing. So, let's Buccaneer.
Feed the fish, lover.
Reporting for duty.
Fine. I'd like to defend my Buccaneer. just gonna coin muster here, and then I'm gonna fan. No? Okay. So I think I'm actually gonna South Sea. And then break that with my 2-1 and re-weapon up. Or I can sack my Buccaneer and start my 4-4. The question is, does he have True Silver or not?
I wonder.
Huh. Alright, let's do it this way.
Here we go.
He has True Silver. Sucks. Just has muster. This is much better. Where are my fireflies? My fireflies are in here just for this match. Well, you know, friend of the turn 1 play, but come on, where's
What
my
would
anti-paladin
Uther
stuff?
do?
Okay, he's not coining, so that's good. True Silver was the main thing I was afraid of here. I'm not even that afraid of like Alder or anything like that
Put
because
this
I can
apple
just
on your head.
kill it.
The light dims. Fight.
Okay. Easy plan. Right here.
Here we
This. Hit here. Fire flag. South Sea. Blow that one south. Once again, I have to hope he does not have a True Silver. Well, here's Fan of Knives. Oh!
Reporting for
Oh!
duty.
Oh! Here's Fan of Knives. Alright. Whee! Thank you, thank you. Alright, so I want to hit that with my face. This has to go here. This has to go here. This goes here. There's a lot more I want to do in turn 6. I'll either Vile Spine Flame Elemental or Loatheb or Vicious Fledgling Horse Rider, all of which involve.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Or Skulker! Come on, top deck Skulker. Top deck Skulker. I think I'm gonna have to Loatheb. That's probably fucking Quartermaster. So, Horse Rider, Flame Elemental. Yeah, the thing is, if it was standard, I'd just Quartermaster. It's not, so I think I have to Horse Rider. Yeah.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
Here we go.
I'm not playing the whole Quartermaster. Even though I'm so far ahead, one Quartermaster can just royally screw me. I really do need to start getting some, like, damage in, though.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Here we go.
Value 4 life. Value that 1-2. Top deck, second call. No, that wasn't top deck. But
Shields off. Red alert.
kind of want to silence this one. Just trying to get that. I think I might just Loatheb and face. I can do 9 face, bring him to 9. I don't have a cold blood charge mechanic.
I wonder.
Try Loatheb and Van Cleef and face. Might be the way. I don't have a charge. I don't have a charge for cold blood though. He only has last turn's top deck and this turn's top deck to deal with this, and he can't deal with it with spells. And if he plays Quartermaster on the 1/1s, it's inconsequential. So I think this is the right play. He can't even consecrate.
Which
Consecrate would
path
cost
to
9 mana.
choose?
This is the type of deck that would play consecrate anyway, but he can only play a 3 or higher cost skill and spend all his mana doing so.
Reporting
play
for
another
duty.
Stegadon and get taunts, I guess.
Reporting for duty.
That's about it, though.
Reporting for duty.
This is the only way out.
Reporting for duty. The battle is over. You win.
That wasn't. Alright, well, there we go. Right. Moving up in the world. That was a good 4 games. I'm not sure if that actually showed the power of Loatheb or not, but that was Loatheb. This deck runs 2 Dark Iron Skulkers as well, specifically for the Paladin matchup, which I think is statistically the worst matchup for this deck, but I've won against, let's see, two one, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2. I fought 9 Paladins with this deck so far, and I beat. I've gone 7-2 against them, so I've only been beaten by 2 Paladins. So it's pretty good. Pretty good deck. Overall, 72% win rate so far. 39 wins, 15 losses. I've only lost that. I lost against like I said, I lost against a druid because I had to go into the door and I was on my phone, and then I lost against that warlock because he drew pretty nuts against me, and I did not draw silence. But those are the only 2 games I've lost since I hit rank 5. So it looks like a pretty solid deck to grind out the last 15 or so stars to legend this season, and I like. I'm not really that much of a aggro guy, but I hate cube lock more than I hate aggro, so, you know, that's the way life is right now. But thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.